we also have a tool called the Schema Markup tool. Now, a lot of you might say, well, what is a schema? So you probably have never heard that term, but it is super important. It's super valuable and can be worth a lot of money to you, and super easy to do. So what is a schema? Well, if you go to Google, you've probably seen stuff like this. Like in this case, if I type in a client of ours, Tennis Shop, Madison, Wisconsin, we see a site pop up right here where it's not just one link, but it has like a bunch of other links under it. And if you compare it to like the third one down that just has like one link and nothing else there, which one stands out more? Which one do you think is more likely to get clicks? The big one that takes up like, half of the page right there. That is one kind of schema where you can have a bunch of links pop up underneath your main site right there. And you can get all these ranking separately as well as basically taking up more space. Another kind of a schema is this big thing on the right side, where you can get it showing up on the maps, or a picture of it, and you can get it showing up in the business listings. You can have reviews that show up right here. You can have the address, the number, the hours that you're open, what other people are saying. You can have your social media profiles. You can have all that stuff showing up right there. That's another kind of a schema. Another kind of schema is just having reviews, like stars that show up right here. So if you just have an affiliate review site, you can have stuff like this show up right here. Another kind of a schema is one that has your graphics or your images show up in the Google results. So if you were to type in like, coffee mug, you would see pictures of different coffee mugs that you can set up through a schema. Now, guys, do you think, if you're a business, especially a local one, do you think it's beneficial to basically take up the whole freaking first page of Google? Do you think that's maybe a bit more helpful than if you're just like, a tiny guy like right here that has like literally like a couple lines and that's it? Absolutely. The guy here obviously dominates page one. It's because of schemas. Now, normally schemas are kind of hard to work with. You have to be like a tech guy. Well, we made it easy. So it's literally drag and drop, fill in the blank easy. So right here, pick the kind of site that you have. And you can have multiple different schemas per site. But if you're a blog, you can, pick that. And this will be an example of what a schema can look like. So you can show up in the news with this schema. You can literally show up in Google News and stuff with the schema that you have right here. If you're a company or a product page, or like, like let's say you have a product page like an e-commerce site, you can show up like that. You can even have your stocks show up right there. If you have a video, you can have it show up like that. So you've probably seen stuff like that. If you're just a local business, let's just say we're that right now, you can have it show up, like that. And then you just basically type in the URL of the business, and then you fill in the blank right here. So stuff like, what is the name? What is the description? Do you have a logo or an image? What's your number? What's your address? What are your business hours? What's your longitude and latitude? You basically just fill in the blank. Do you have a menu? If you're a restaurant, you can have your menu showing up. Huge. You think a restaurant would kill to have their menu showing up on Google to basically take up all that. Do you have any social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest? You can have all that show up right here and add it to the profile and show up. Then you just click create code, and you just paste it on your site. And we walk you through how to easily do that. It takes literally seconds, guys. Then you can test to make sure that it's there and working on your site, and done. Now, what do you think? I mean, not only is there value in this for you, but what do you think this is worth to a prospect or a client out there? If there's a guy that doesn't have a schema, and you can even test his site with this right here to even see if he has one. But it's pretty obvious to tell in the search engines if they don't, because it won't show anything fancy. What do you think it's worth to them? Like, let's say a restaurant. What do you think it would be worth to them to get them to basically, look like this and take up everything right here? Do you think that might be worth some decent dough? Do you think if you had a service where you charged $1,000 that they think you were dirt cheap if you were able to help them out like that? Absolutely, and that would be dirt cheap for them. If you had it for $500, it would be like, are you insane? This is too good to be true. Can you actually do that? But again, guys, you can do this in minutes. And regardless if you have like a normal site Or even if you have a WordPress site, we have a special plugin for that can do the same thing. But even without a WordPress site, you just use this. They can do it for any site out there. So huge, huge value, guys, worth, again, a fortune. Again, so obviously you probably get the idea of that.